How many ways the oil get contaminated in the machine?
Oh, there are so many ways it get contaminated, but I will tell you the five contamination in the oil. Uh, this contamination is always a problem in the hydraulic system. So we'll discuss one by one. The first contamination is known as a built-in contamination of the oil. Now this built-in contamination you cannot avoid actually, because built-in contamination comes from the machine manufacturer. When they manufacture the machine and supply you, though they clean it, everything, they're flushing the system, doing a lot of things, but these contaminations are in microns, big particle about say 15, 20 micron and all that. So whatever they do, they make the hydraulic block and all that, the drilling, then the tapping, then the cleaning. But somewhere, some little metal particle or a welding spatter somewhere in the pipeline or other installation of the hydraulic things are already there. Tank they already clean, but you never know. Something is left. So that is beyond the reach of manufacturer also.
Yes.
So that you can't do anything. That is built in. So basically you have to use the good filters, fine filters, so that such particles can be
Remove.
taken care of.
Yeah.
The second one is known as a generated contamination. Now, generated means it is generated while the machine is working. All the components are in use. All the valves are using. The pumps is running. So it's all metal components. So over a period of time, it's a long time it takes. Uh, some wear and tear are there. So some metal particles will included in the oil. So this is generated. Initially they are not there. So some say seals are there, hydraulic cylinder is there. So you use the rubber seals and some sort of seals. So small part of the rubber is cut and goes into the oil. Or this is all contamination is generated inside the machine while it is running. So that is why it is known as a generated contamination. The third contamination is known as the air contamination. See, foaming is when the throttling is done, or the foaming in the tank of the oil tank is happens. So that is because of the air, or air is included in the air. The compressibility is also not properly come in this. So to save from the air contamination, you should take care that your system, hydraulic system, is not exposed to the air, atmospheric, I mean, so that you can protect in that way. The next is the water contamination. Now, this particular contamination, the main source of the water is from atmosphere, is from the what we call it, humidity.
Yes.
The humidity is more in the air.
Yes.
You will find the water in the air is more. So there you have to use certain traps, because every hydraulic system has a breather, oil tank is there, every entire system is closed. Only air breather on top of the tank is there, from where the air goes inside the tank and air coming out. When oil is going into system, air enters in the tank, and the oil is coming back into the tank, the air is coming out. So when air goes in, if that air is the humidity is more, that air will go in and the water particles will go as a droplets inside the. So avoid that. You have to use the particular type of what we call it breather. And one very famous breather is known as a Donaldson's trap breather. It's a very special breather is coming. It's known as a Donaldson trap. Trap is not TRAP, simple word. T.R.A.P. It's a full form is thermally reactive advanced protection. That is the meaning of the trap.
Okay.
So if you use that, you can avoid this water contamination from the system.
Okay.
See, and the fifth one is a chemical contamination. Now, this chemical contamination, you know, chemical oil itself is a chemical, and chemical has its life, and it gets contaminated over a time because it degrades.
Yeah.
See, oil, if you keep it for 3 years, 4 years without doing anything, even then, because of the time, over a time or over a period of time, it will degrade.
Yes.
So that contamination will come, and this mainly happens when heat is more.
Okay.
Your machine is taking so much heat, or your process of the hydraulic is such that its throttling is more,
Okay.
right? So in that case, your temperature goes high, and if the temperature goes high of the oil, it may go up to 60 degrees centigrade or even more than 60 degrees centigrade.
Yes.
At that time, this particular oil, it will break, and will break into other chemicals.
Okay.
So these other particular chemicals that will damage your system, that will penetrate your protection of the hydraulic system.
Yes.
And so this type of contamination, if you want to save it from your machine, first thing is you should avoid throttling and all that, and you make sure that your system oil temperature does not go above 50 degrees centigrade.
Okay.
If it is not avoid to make it 50 degrees centigrade or that, if required, see somewhere in Gujarat or others where the temperature in summer it goes about 48, 47 degrees centigrade, there the oil may get heated up.
Yes.
So if you want to keep it at 50 degrees centigrade, you use a heat exchanger. So the water will circulate and oil also circulate across the heat exchanger, and the water will bring the oil temperature down, and it will run at the 50 degrees centigrade. So you can avoid this chemical contamination by this. Last one I will tell you is the ingress particulate, or the technical way of saying that the dust particles and all that
Yes.
included in the system. That is also a contamination. This contamination normally happens when you are doing some maintenance of the hydraulic system.
Yes.
Then you are opening the
Machine.
tank and components of the. At that time, some dust particles and the dirt particles will go inside. So you should protect whenever you are doing the maintenance. You should see that this dust and are all taken care of, not goes inside. So servicing when you are doing of the machine, you take care of that things, and this you can overcome.